Khidmat Bakti Negara is aimed at producing progressive youths without harming Brunei's ceremonial customs, culture and good behaviour. The hospital's Visitors Board is reinstated towards further enhancing Brunei Darussalam's comprehensive and systematic healthcare. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening and welcome to News at 10. I'm Dianku Susilawati, pengiran Haji Sabri.
And I'm Hajah Kistina Haji Murad.
His Royal Highness Prince Muhammad Bolkiah, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, today received Ambassador Demetrios Merantis, Deputy United States Trade Representative, in audience at the Balai Penghadapan, Bukit Kayangan. Ambassador Demetrios Merantis is in the country on a 3-day visit. The Brunei Darussalam Hokkien Association foresees the importance of education in the ever-challenging era, and with education, parents can plan the future of the children properly so that they are not easily influenced by negative elements. For this purpose, the association gave recognition to children of members that achieve excellent examination results during the function marking the Chinese New Year and the 13th presentation of certificate and scholarships. Appreciation certificates and scholarships to 250 students was presented by the Minister of Home Affairs, Yang Berhormat Pihin Udana Khatib Datuk Seri Setia Ustaz Haji Awang Badaruddin. Among those present was the Deputy Minister of Home Affairs Yang Dimuliakan Pihin Datu Laila Raja, Retired Major General Datuk Paduka Seri Haji Awang Halbi. These scholarship and awards were encouragements to the student to work hard to improve their knowledge beside being healthy, both physically and mentally. The Brunei Darussalam Hokkien Association was formed 13 years ago and currently has more than 900 members. The function was held at the International Convention Centre in Barakas.
Trainees of the program Khidmat Bakti Negara PKBN or National Service Program are the future leaders of the nation and race, as well as the catalyst to the country's economic growth, development and progress. As role models, they are hoped to play a vital role as peers to other youths and urged to be actively involved in youth and community movements in Brunei Darussalam. The Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports Yang Berhormat Pihin Orang Kaya Pekerma Laila Diraja Datuk Seri Setia Awang Haji Huzair underscored the matter at a passing out parade for 78 trainees of the PKBN Pioneer Project. Yang Berhormat Pihin stressed that PKBN is not a summer camp or youth expedition, but has a clear objective and its own identity towards strengthening the self-esteem of all individuals to always be loyal and willing to contribute their good deeds to the monarch, race, religion and nation. Yang Berhormat added that PKBN is not designed to be burdensome to the training participants in terms of time and energy, but it's an opportunity that brings benefits and advantages to them in enhancing their qualities for long-term prospects such as in leadership, capability and experience. The program has its own added values and is molded according to today's global and regional progress and development. Through PKBN, the Minister added it is hoped that the program will be able to produce youths who can make dynamic and progressive changes to the nation without harming Brunei's ceremonial customs, culture and good behavior.
Dan kemajuan serantau dan global. Melalui PKBN adalah dihasratkan ianya akan dapat melahirkan gulungan belia yang akan dapat membawa perubahan yang dinamik dan progresif kepada negara dengan tanpa menjejaskan atau merosakkan kemurnian adat istiadat, budaya dan tata susila bangsa Brunei.
The overall best male trainee is Awang Muhammad Hadi bin Bujang, while the best overall female trainee is Dayang Norain binti Muhammad Ali. The best male and female trainees in drill are Muhammad Jamaluddin bin Haji Jamidun and Dayang Nur Afika binti Bostaman respectively. Awang Muhammad Rushdi bin Sapar and Dayang Siti Reda Wahayu binti Muhammad was selected as the best male and female trainees in physical training. The first PKBN Pioneer project, which was carried out for 12 weeks at the sports village Barakas, also involved the Brunei Darussalam outward bound in the Temburong district. The second pilot project will be held from the 1st of April until 23rd of June this year, and the third from the 10th of December until 4th of March 2013.
An official ceremony was held for lowering Brunei Darussalam's giant flag, marking the end of the period of hoisting the national flags throughout the country in conjunction with the year's National Day celebration.
Details coming up shortly, but first, the sights of His Majesty's Tita. Over $20 million had been allocated for the construction of the new police headquarters of the Royal Brunei Police Force. The foundation laying ceremony was held this afternoon at the site of the new building located near the current headquarters in Jalan Tungkuling, Gadong. The foundation laying was led by the Deputy Minister, the Prime Minister's Office, Datuk Paduka Awang Haji Abdul Wahab bin Junaid. With the area of 7.5 hectares, the new building will include a conference room, a lecture hall, a library and a meeting room. The project is carried out under the 2007-2012 9th National Development Plan, which is also in line with the Royal Brunei Police strategic planning to accommodate its needs and assets. The construction of the project started in June last year and is expected to be completed in June next year. Present was the Commissioner of the Police Yang Dimuliakan bin Orang Kaya Pendekar Alam, Datuk Paduka Seri Haji Hasrin bin Datuk Paduka Haji Sabtu.
An official ceremony of lowering Brunei Darussalam's giant flag in conjunction with the celebration marking the 28th National Day was held this afternoon at the open area of the Yayasan Sultan Haji Hassanal Bolkiah complex in the capital. Present was the Deputy Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Datin Paduka Haja Adina binti Osman. The 3.7 metre wide by 7.3 metre long flag was lowered by personnel of the Royal Brunei Navy, accompanied by the singing of National Anthem of Brunei Darussalam. The flag was then presented to the Deputy Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports. The lowering of the giant flag also marked the end of the nationwide flag waving in conjunction with this year's National Day. The Minister of Health continues to improve the level of quality service and assurance in providing attention and care to all the Rakyat and people of Brunei Darussalam towards maintaining comprehensive and systematic healthcare to fulfill the need of the public effectively. This is not only in line with its function, but is one of the main objectives of the Minister of Health's strategic vision of Together Towards Healthy Citizens. Towards this objective, the Minister of Health took initiatives to reinstate Hospital Visitors Board, in which members include various categories of stakeholders comprising of senior government officers, representatives of private sectors, non-government organizations, community leaders at the grassroots level such as penghulus of Mukim or Ketua Kampungs and the general public. This morning, the Minister of Health held a presentation of appointment letters to members of the board by the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, Datuk Paduka Haji Abdul Salam bin Abdul Mumin. The formation of the board is to get views, comments and feedbacks on the quality of health service and patient health care throughout all government hospitals. The appointment of the members of the hospital board are for a period of 2 years, starting from the 1st of March 2012 until 28th of February 2014. They comprise of 9 members at the Raja Isteri Pangeran Anak Saleha Hospital, 7 members at the Suri Sri Begawan Hospital in Kuala Blyde, 6 members at the Pangeran Muda Mahkota Pangeran Muda Haji Al-Muhtadi Billah Hospital in Tutong, and 4 members at the Pangeran Isteri Hajah Mariam Hospital, Temburong.
A family in Kampung Bukit Salat Mukim, Sungai Kedayan have lost their home after the house they had been living in for more than 20 years collapsed. The incident happened around 8:45 this morning, destroying some of the house owners' belongings. However, no injuries were reported. Present at the scene was the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Dr. Awang Haji Fendi bin Pihin Orangkaya Saiful Mulok, Datuk Seri Paduka Haji Abidin. Also present was the Senior Special Duties Officer at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Awang Haji Metusin bin Orangkaya Surah Haji Tubang. The most popular food promotion in Brunei, Singapore Food Festival, is back. The festival is hosted by Royal Brunei Catering RBC at the airport restaurant until 11th March. The festival was launched by the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, Awang Haji Muhammad Rozan. Also present was the High Commissioner of Singapore to Brunei Darussalam, His Excellency Joseph K.H. Kaur. It presents authentic Singapore specialties and cuisine, including Ponggol chili crab, daging bakar cincalok, rojak gelang, mi siam and nyonya popia.
Healthy Kampung Carnival is one of the annual projects of the Kampung Pandan Consultative Council in Kuala Blyde, and responding to the call by the Minister of Health to improve the health status at the Mukim and Kampung levels. The carnival was launched by the advisor of the Kampung Pandan Consultative Council, Awang Haji Saleh Bustaman. Present was the Blyde District Officer, Awang Haji Haris bin Osman. The function began with an aerobic session, followed by a 4-kilometre walkathon around the area of the Kampung Pandan National Housing Scheme. Besides enhancing community relations and cooperation, the carnival was also intended to promote a healthy lifestyle, especially among senior citizens.
Saya berharap apa yang dibuat oleh Majlis Kampung Pandan B akan digunakan. Jangan disalahgunakan demi untuk kepentingan diri sendiri. Sebab bagaimana yang telah kami katakan semalam, ini adalah win-win situation. Jadi artinya bergabung dua supaya diorang pun mendapat keuntungan dan kampung akan maju. Itu saya yang tujuan kami. Sebab kalau sekiranya maju kampung ini, kita boleh mendatangkan tourism dan sebagainya untuk menjadi satu kampung model.
Among the popular events, especially among the kids, was an exhibition of exotic pet animals. A talk on the prevention of diabetics and a health checkup were also held at the gathering. Operators of small and medium enterprise also took the opportunity to promote their products in the Jumbo and Garage sale event. Part of the proceeds of the sale will be donated to welfare organizations in the Blyde district. The carnival is being held at the Kampung Pandan Community Hall and will go on until Thursday. 2 family victims of a recent fire in Kampung Sungai Turaban today received finance and basic necessities donations. The families of Awang Haji Julaihi bin Muhammad and Awang Ishaq bin Ibrahim received the donations from the Sutra Association of Kampung Sungai Turaban. The donations were handed over by the chairman of the Kuala Blyde and Syria Municipal Board, Awang Haji Ishaq bin Haji Abu Hanifah.
Not all steel is created equal. Not all manufacturing processes are created equal. Not all engineering standards are created equal. Which is why not all luxury vehicles are created equal. The hard way is how Lexus inspires absolute confidence. The hard way is the pursuit of perfection.
You have one voicemail.
Hello sayang, jangan lupa singgah ke bank bayar bil, okey?
Online bersama Baiduri. Mudah, cepat. Hanya Baiduri.
The Supervision Course and Workshop for Inspectors of Religious Studies Department JPI is one of the department's efforts to further enhance the capacity building of the inspectors. The 10-day course and workshop came to a close today with a certificate presentation. On hand to present the certificates was the head of Professional Section Islamic Studies Department, Dayang Hajijah binti Haji Mokhtar. The course was attended by 38 new inspectors under the supervision of JPI. It was conducted by 6 lecturers from University Brunei Darussalam. The course aimed at further enhancing the knowledge and skill of inspectors in boosting the quality of observation, supervision and evaluation on teaching and learning. The function took place at the Institute Pendidikan Sultan Haji Hassan Al Bolkiah, University Brunei Darussalam. The Executive Committee for His Majesty the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam's 66th birthday anniversary celebration for Temburong District held its first meeting today to discuss the agenda and review preparations to smoothen the event. Chairing the meeting was the acting Temburong District Officer Awang Suhara Fadzali bin Haji Yusof. As chairman of the Executive Committee of His Majesty's birthday anniversary celebration in the Temburong District. Among the agenda at the meeting included the dissolution of last year's committee members and the appointment of new members as this year's new executive members, as well as events chairpersons. The format of the get-together ceremony was also discussed. Also present penghulus, ketuas of kampungs and representatives of uniformed associations and non-government organisations.
Dan Yang di-Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam bercemar duli bagi Majlis Ramah Mesra dan junjung ziarah bersama rakyat dan penduduk daerah Temburong yang telah diadakan pada 19 hari bulan Julai 2011 bertempat di kawasan Padang Kompleks Dewan Kemasyarakatan Pekanbagan Temburong.
Various events have been arranged in glorifying Brunei Darussalam's 28th National Day celebration. One such event is an exhibition in conjunction with the World Craft Council UNESCO, AHPADA's Handicraft Month at the Car Park area of the Arts and Handicraft Training Centre. The 6th exhibition is open to the public for 3 days, starting today from 9 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. The Hajj registration for the 1433 Hijrah or 2012 Hajj pilgrimage season is now open until Saturday, the 31st of March this year. Registration can be made at the Hajj Registration Centre, at the Hajj Registration Unit, Hajj Management Section, Hajj Management Department Block A, A20, Baitul Mal Commercial Building, Islamic Religious Council, Jalan Kota Batu, and the Religious Affairs Offices in Blai, Tutong and Temburong. For officers and staff of government departments who wish to apply for the Fardu Haji subsidy should fill in and return 2 completed forms, the Hajj application form and application for government fare subsidy. In a media conference, Acting Director of Hajj Management, Awang Haji Abdul Rajid bin Haji Muhammad Saleh, reminded the public to travel using authorised Hajj packages only. There are 6 Hajj packages which have been approved by the Government of His Majesty, the Sultan and Yang di-Pertuan of Brunei Darussalam. There are Darussalam Holdings Sendirian Berhad, HTH Travel Agency, Humairah Travel Centre Borneo Sendirian Berhad, TTN Travel and Tours, Straits Central Agencies B Sendirian Berhad, Antara Travel and Tours. And meanwhile, intending pilgrims are advised to undergo health screening. For public information, online Hajj registration will be effective for Hajj pilgrimage season next year, 1433 Hijrah, corresponding to year 2013.
A total of 433 new students began their pre-university academic session at the Saidina Ali Secondary School Sixth Form Centre in Kampong Pandan in Kuala Belait today. The Sixth Form Centre welcomed its new students this morning. They came from various government and non-government secondary schools and had obtained passes in the Brunei Cambridge GCE O-level examination and will undergo pre-university studies for the 2012-2013 session. The school principal, Ani Sandai, in her speech reminded the students to obey the school rules and be active in curriculum activities for the development of the students' moral and personalities. The two-day consultation and open day at the Wasan Vocational School provide opportunities to the public to know more about the school and also study programs on offer. During the two-day consultation and open day, the school also provided internet access computers for those who wish to register online for the July 2012 session through the Technical Vocational Education Admission System or TVECAS. Closing date for applications will be on the 22nd of March 2012. Among the courses on offer are diplomas in agricultural science, horticulture, food technology, aquaculture and fisheries, and a number of other diploma programs. Exhibitions and activities were also provided for visitors. The school's consultation and open day session will be extended to the Temburong district on March 2nd and 3rd at the lobby of the Bumi Putra complex in Pekan Bangar, and in the Belait district will be held at the Oil and Gas Discovery Centre in Syria on March 10. Members of the public are welcome to visit the open day and consultation sessions to have a closer look at achievements of the Wasan Vocational School.
Traffic lights at the junction of Jalan Bengkurung and Jalan Junjungan Link Road began operations today. Road users in the area, especially drivers, are advised to drive with caution when approaching the traffic light area. They are also reminded to follow the signboards erected for the safety of all road users. A woman, a Brunei citizen, has been sentenced with a fine of $15,000 or 25 months imprisonment for 25 offences under the Passports Act. 39-year-old Tina Binti Taha has been found guilty of committing passport forgery using a fake passport to leave and enter the country through the Kuala Lumpur Immigration Control Post. She was detained by the immigration officer on duty at the control post on the 23rd of September 2011. And now, leading our international news tonight, Russian authorities foil a plot to assassinate Prime Minister Vladimir Putin.
And suicide bombing at a military airport in Jalalabad kills 9 in retaliation against US troops burning Qur'ans. Stay tuned for the details in the rest of the world news. Russia said its secret services had thwarted a plot to assassinate Prime Minister Vladimir Putin after next weekend's presidential election.
State-controlled Channel 1 television reported that an attempt on Putin's life had been uncovered and foiled by special operations forces in Russia and Ukraine. According to Channel 1, a group was arrested in the Ukrainian port city of Odessa in January after an explosion in an apartment they rented. 2 men were arrested and a third died, according to the reports. Channel 1 also showed video of the operation in Ukraine that uncovered the plot. The suspected plotters are said to have links with Chechen rebels. It said the plotters came to Ukraine from the United Arab Emirates via Turkey. The alleged assassination plot comes just 6 days before Putin is expected to win an election that will reinstall him as president of Russia, a position he held from 2000 to 2008.
Russia says last week's conference in Tunisia has failed to help end bloodshed in Syria. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov voiced regret that the Friends of Syria conference didn't help create conditions that would encourage all Syrians to engage in political dialogue. Russia and China boycotted the conference. Moscow criticized the Tunisian conference organizers for failing to invite representatives of the Syrian government and accused them of encouraging the Syrian opposition to keep fighting and reject talks. Meanwhile, Syrians went to the polls in a referendum on a new constitution that could end 5 decades of one-party rule in the country. The new national charter will pave the way for multi-party parliamentary elections within 3 months. Earlier this month, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad unveiled the proposed constitution as part of his reform efforts. Western powers in Syria involved in an 11-month-old revolt against his rule have described it as a farce. More than 14 million people over the age of 18 were eligible to vote in yesterday's referendum at nearly 14,000 polling stations across the country. China and Russia, which have both vetoed resolutions against Syria at the UN Security Council, expressed support for the process. In Damascus, thousands of pro-government supporters staged a rally in the Syrian capital in support of the new constitution. Crowds gathered at the Fountain Square in front of Central Bank of Syria, with thousands of people holding up portraits of the president, shouting pro-government slogans as well as handing out pamphlets detailing the new constitution. Two main opposition groups, namely the Syrian National Council and the National Coordination Body for Democratic Change in Syria, called for a boycott, and other groups declared a general strike that appears to have been observed in some places.
Baghdad has stepped up its security measures and infrastructure construction in preparation for the upcoming Arab League summit. Iraq's Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki said all Arab countries had agreed to attend the March 29 summit. Syria will not be invited to the summit in accordance with the previous decision by the Arab League.
Al-Maliki said the Arab League had inspected security measures Baghdad had taken to secure the safety of dignitaries going from the airport to the meeting venue and back, which they hardly approve of and were satisfied with. The Iraqi government has invested $200 million in road reconstruction since 2010. Holding a successful summit would help Iraq restore its place in the Arab world after the US withdrawal and help ally worries over Iran's influence over Iraq's Shiite government. Iraq's federal police have intensified drills to ensure the safety during the conference. The Arab League summit has been postponed because of regional turmoil and acrimony between Iraq's Shiite-led government and some Sunni Gulf states.
A suicide car bomber struck a military airport in Jalalabad in eastern Afghanistan early today, killing 9 people in an attack insurgents said was revenge for US troops burning Qurans.
There was no official indication that the explosion was linked to other deadly protests and riots, although the Taliban quickly claimed responsibility for the attack as revenge for the Quran burning. Authorities said 12 people were wounded by the suicide bomb at the airport, and casualties appeared to be civilians and Afghan soldiers who were guarding the gate. NATO-led International Security Assistance Force ISAF in Nangarhar province, of which Jalalabad is the capital, said the explosion did no damage inside the military airport, which is used by ISAF troops. Anti-Western fury has deepened significantly since the desecration of the Muslim holy book at the main NATO base in Afghanistan. Riots have raged across Afghanistan over the past week, despite widespread apologies from US leaders, including President Barack Obama and military commanders. The Taliban, meanwhile, claim it was behind the poisoning of coalition troops' food in eastern Afghanistan in retaliation against the Quran burning.
Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard won a leadership showdown with party rival Kevin Rudd, with strong backing from her party today. But but now faces a mammoth task to rebuild support for her divided and unpopular minority government.
Ms. Gillard won the ballot of ruling party lawmakers 71 votes to 31 in a convincing victory, ending Mr. Rudd's hopes of returning as Prime Minister anytime before the next election, due in late 2013. Ms. Gillard had cancelled for the leadership vote to stamp her authority over the governing Labour Party after Mr. Rudd suddenly quit as Foreign Minister in Washington last week after weeks of mounting infighting between the two camps. Before the vote, Mr. Rudd said he would return to the government backbench and would not challenge Ms. Gillard a second time before the next election. The two have had a strained relationship since Ms. Gillard engineered a party coup to replace Mr. Rudd as Prime Minister in June 2010.
Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos says the announcement by the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, that it would abandon its decades-long policy of kidnapping for ransom and free all military and police hostages is a step in the right direction, but it's not enough.
The FARC statement that it would no longer kidnap for financial ends is the first in its kind since it took up arms in 1964, and it's the latest sign that may indicate the half-century-old insurgent group wants some sort of peace negotiation. Colombians for Peace spokesperson Marlene Ojila welcomed the news. Ojila said the latest move was a step forward for the South American country that has been battling the Marxist rebels for decades, but stressed the importance of freeing all the hostages. FARC, considered a terrorist group by the United States and the European Union, hosts 10 members of the armed forces, as well as hundreds of civilians it has seized along the years of fighting the government as a means of extortion to fund its battle against the state. The rebels said that along with the 6 uniformed captives they had promised to free back in December, they would liberate the remaining 4. However, FARC did not say what would happen to the scores of civilians it already holds for ransom in its prison camps.
Protests against a controversial rare earth refinery in Malaysia by Australian Minor Liners Corporation intensified as more than 10,000 people rallied near the plant in Kuantan, Pahang State against the government's decision to grant the plant a temporary operating license.
The demonstrators consisted Kuantan residents, opposition members of the parliament and activists from several non-government organizations. They chanted slogans and held placards that read "Stop Zombifying Malaysia" and "Liners Leave Malaysia" at the peaceful rally on the field. Also present at the rally was the country's opposition leader, Anwar Ibrahim. Sunday's rally was the largest ever held since protests against the plant started over a year ago, and the organizer of the rally, Himpunan Hijau, or Green Assembly, sent an ultimatum to the government. Environmentalists and Kuantan residents said the plant would generate radioactive waste that would contaminate the seawater and destroy the town's fishing industry, one of Kuantan's main sources of economy. They had last week applied for judicial review at the court to halt the plant. Operations at the plant were slated to begin last year, but were put on hold following a public outcry that prompted the government to seek help from the International Atomic Energy Agency to review the plant.
A passenger train derailed near Burlington in southern Ontario, Canada, killing at least 1 person.
Aerial images show rescue workers climbing into some of the derailed cars that have been thrown onto their sides as they attempt to rescue trapped passengers within, as well as rescue helicopters waiting to transport any wounded found in the wreckage. The VIA rail train was travelling from Niagara Falls to Toronto with about 75 passengers when the accident happened. The train was reportedly leaking fuel at the derailment. The Halton Regional Police were unable to provide any details on the derailment. VIA Rail is owned by the Canadian government.
Now let's take a look at some world news updates. Moving on to the Nisab Zakaro Ties rates for cash and property.
Foreign exchange segment is brought to you by HSBC.
The Hassanah Bolkiah Trophy Football Tournament for ASEAN Youth 2012. 2 matches in Group B were played this evening. Timor-Leste took on Malaysia at Baraka Sports Complex, and Cambodia played against Vietnam at the track and field of the Hassanah Bolkiah National Sports Complex. Meanwhile, in last night's matches, Indonesia and Singapore were tied to a 1-1 draw, while Laos defeated the Philippines 3-1. Both matches were for Group A. Singapore in blue jersey netted its only goal during the first half of the match. Indonesia in red equalised the second half, changing the position to 1-1, and this remained until full time. At the track and field of the Hassanah Bolkiah National Sports Complex, Laos defeated the Philippines 3-1. Laos in blue-white netted 3 goals in a space of 4 minutes. The Philippines scored their only goal in the 41st minute. The game ended with Laos 3 and Philippines 1. In English soccer, Liverpool beat Cardiff City 3-2 on penalties to win the English League Cup for the 8th time in a thrilling final, which ended 2-2 after extra time at Wembley early today.
Cardiff, the first Welsh side to reach the League Cup final in the competition's 52-year existence, stunned Liverpool when they took the lead after 19 minutes through Joe Manson's smartly taken shot, and Kenny Miller almost snatched victory near the end of full time after defender Martin Skrtel had equalised for Liverpool on the hour. Substitute Kurt appeared to have sealed victory for Liverpool when he put his side 2-1 ahead at the start of the second half of extra time after a nail-biting final had ended 1-1 after 90 minutes. The Dutchman then turned saviour as he had a Cardiff effort off the line, but from the resulting corner, Ben Turner prodded into a dramatic equaliser to take the game to penalties. Korat missed the first penalty. Dirk Kurt, Stuart Downing and Glenn Johnson converted their spot kicks for Liverpool, while Cardiff missed 3 of theirs. Cardiff's Anthony Gerrard, cousin of Liverpool's Steven, fired the final spot kick wide as the Championship side's hopes of becoming the first Welsh club to win the trophy ended in heartache.
Meanwhile, in the English Premier League last night, Arsenal trashed Tottenham Hotspurs 5-2 to move to 4th place. In the other match-winning champions, Manchester United beat Norwich City 2-1 and is now 2 points behind leaders Manchester City. Meanwhile, Stoke City won 2-0 at home against Swansea. To conclude the bulletin, let's reflect on a tradition of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as narrated by Ad-Dalaimi on the noble act through behavior.
Nobility is not merely by wearing beautiful clothing, but it is more by peacefulness or courteousness and humbleness.
Thank you for joining us in News at 10. Have a pleasant and productive day tomorrow. Good night.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.